I have a piece I want to read. It's a little memoir piece. It's called Hallelujah. On the night before his inauguration, I watched President-elect Biden and his wife and Vice President-elect Harris and her husband attend a ceremony at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool to honor the then 400,000 Americans who died of COVID during the pandemic. It's such a large number, and the fact that thousands of people still die every day is more than most of us can comprehend. It's hard, even for me, a retired nurse, to visualize their tragic passing and the pain and sorrow left in their wake. I worked with cancer patients for many years, and I cared for many terminal patients and their grief stricken families. Yet my mind, too, shies away from the reality of the death and destruction the pandemic has caused, even though the news blares the rising numbers every day. At the reflecting pool, they had a simple ceremony and lamps were lit to commemorate the lives lost. And then one of the singers sang the beautiful Leonard Cohen song, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And as the notes floated in the cold night air, I thought about my friend's dog, Riley, who died the week before, and I started to cry. I wept for her grief, my grief, those who died of COVID, all the people who lost loved ones. I wept for everyone. I realized so much has happened this year that the only way I've been able to cope was to compartmentalize everything. Focus, focus, focus. Just keep it together. Together. The shutdown, the social isolation, the terrible news stories every day, the sacrifices, not seeing family and friends for months. Yeah, I can do that. Sure, I can do that. I can do it. Anything to avoid the dreaded plague. But suddenly, that night, I hit a wall when I thought about Riley. He was a senior rescue, yellow Labrador, a big, gentle boy with the eyes of an old soul. He'd been found abandoned and starving in a field out in the country and covered with bites. A lab rescue organization fostered and took care of him until they found him a good home with my friend, Jean. Riley loved swimming. Every time Jean took him and her other senior rescue lab to the beach, he'd be out so far in the water you could barely see his head in the surf. Last fall, when I visited Jean at her home, I asked, "Where's Riley?" when I didn't see him. She answered, "He likes to lie in the sun in the backyard. You know, I think he still misses his previous owner, whoever that was. Sometimes he looks around like he's looking for someone." We've bonded, but I think his heart is permanently broken. His owner must have died or something, and that's why he was found in that field. I went down the back stairs to the yard and found Riley lying behind some bushes. He came out when I called, with a sweet smile and his tail wagging. I petted him and he leaned his head against my leg. Like many large dog breeds, he's a leaner. And I thought about Riley losing his beloved owner. Grief is a desolate country, I know. There are some deaths that leave everlasting sorrow. I gave Riley a big hug because he was a kindred spirit. He looked sad when I left, his big eyes following me as I climbed the stairs. That was the last time I saw him. I know many people won't understand how I can equate the death of a dog with the tragic loss of so many people, but they forget we humans are animals too, and emotions like love, grief, and heartbreak are not a human monopoly. We humans don't forget those we love. I like to think Riley didn't either, and he's finally gotten his heart's desire. And someday, like Riley, I too will see my lost loved ones. Okay.